biggest perfect square. Now, why do we search for the biggest perfect square and not another number? All right, there was like a general grunt, and I have no idea what the words were. Kind of. But why do we search for a perfect square and not 3 of the same number or 4 of the same number? What's the index?
The index is what?
What is the index?
There is the 1.
2. This is a square root. The index is 2, so you look for perfect squares. If it was, take a point. So if it was 3, what would you look for? Cube, take a point. No, you don't get a point. You didn't answer it. That is not saying anything. Okay, take a point. Alright, so we're going to start with 128. Now, if you just guessed on this, or if you copied down someone else's, now's the time to pay attention, because we have a test Wednesday.
I'm okay.
You should come to 0 period, or do your homework, or watch the videos, or pay attention. I know, we have all these excuses every day. Alright, so please, now, the perfect squares are this second column right here. So I want you to tell me the biggest perfect square that you think divides into 128. 64. Alright, so everybody get a calculator. This is how you check it. You do 128 divided by 64. I will let you use your cell phones as calculators for today. Oh, I'm so sorry. Watch the board then. Alright, so did everybody get 2? Now, do you see how we got an even number when we did 128 divided by 64? That's what you're looking for.
It has to be 2.
No, it does not have to be 2. It just has to be a whole number when you divide. Like not 2.25, not 3.75, 6, 4, 5, 4, 32, 7. Not that. It has to be a whole number.
Okay.
Alright, so now 64 is our perfect square. Let's find 64 on here. What's the square root of 64?
8.
Okay, so the answer is 8, and we write our square root sign. And what happens to this 2 that's by himself? It goes inside the house. Does everybody understand how I did that one? What don't you understand? Okay, again, are you ready to listen?
Yeah.
Alright, so I picked the biggest perfect square that divided into this evenly. So when I did 128 divided by 64, I got 2. Because it's the biggest perfect square that goes into it evenly. Because I divided.
64 times 2 is
Okay, baby, what I did was I looked at my card. And I said, okay, let me try 81. 128 divided by 81, that doesn't work. So I'm going to go this way.
Which one?
Lower. Up.
Oh.
Alright, so then I did 128 divided by 64. That's a 54, Blair. Boom, that worked.
Wait, what's in the middle of your card?
Okay, again, these are the counting numbers.
Alright.
This is a square, an equal sign, and these are my perfect squares.
Alright.
These are my perfect cubes, which we're getting to today.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Oh.
These are the cubes that we're doing next.
I didn't do that.
I know.
We haven't
You
done
haven't done
it.
it yet.
Oh.
We're getting there, Cameron.
Alright.
You are the future.
I am.
Alright, so do you see why we divided by 64 now? We just picked a number, honey, until it worked.
Basically.
Alright, so then number 2. You should have this written down on a separate piece of paper, guys. You are writing what I write so that you can look back at your notes when you practice. Number 2 is the square root of 150. So now we're going to, and nobody yell it out who's already done this. Alright, we're going to look at our perfect squares, which is our middle number. Now 100 is too big, so we're going to go this way. Let's try 64. Let's do 150 divided by 64 and tell me what you get.
Alright. 2.3.
Alright, so we got a decimal, right? That doesn't work, so we need to go this way. Let's try 36.
Oh.
Oh, that doesn't work, so let's try 25.
That works.
That worked, and we got 25 and what?
6.
Alright, we broke it down into 25 times 6. What's the square root of 25? So it's 5 root 6. Why does this guy stay inside the square root?
He's grounded.
He's grounded. He's by himself. He's alone. So he stays in the house. Does everybody understand? Where did I get this 5 from? The square root of 25. I did not divide. I took the square root of 25. If you said from the 25, take a point. All right. Number 3 is the square root of 245.
Can we go over today?
We can go over today because it's Friday.
We can do seats.
No, we get new seats at the end of February.
No, I like.
Are you gonna call us?
My birthday's gonna be in less than a month.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on them to stop talking to me about things that don't matter.
Alright.
All right, here we go. All right, so now we need the biggest perfect square that goes into 245.
Ah, go. There.
I'm telling you.
Reminder never unplug it.
Wait. What?
Problem it will solve them.
Because I use it all day.
Yeah, but ain't that plugged up all day too?
No.
It's bad to leave your laptop.
What do you unplug it?
Yes. That's why it's not plugged up all day. Man, you were on it today without logic. I'm telling you. You're the future. All right. So now, all right. Now we're doing 245. Now, what is the biggest perfect square that you think? Now, if you did this morning with me, do not answer.
Oh, do I need to answer?
It's so hard not to answer without
I know.
My calculator.
And you did it last night, Nathan. So no. All right. So pick a perfect square that we think can go into 245. 49.
Oh, so you just can pick any of them?
Yep. So we're gonna do 245 divided by 49.
So I can do like 26?
That's not a perfect square, baby. You have to pick a perfect square.
Huh?
You have to pick a perfect square.
I mean 676.
Yes, but that's too big, right? So a great way to start is to take your number and think about, it has to be smaller, and think about halfway between it. So half of 245 is going to be like 120 something. But we know that 121 isn't going to go into it. 100 isn't going to go into it. 81 probably isn't. So we could try 64.
Heck yeah.
Did 64 work?
No.
All right, so let's go down. 49. I got 49 and 5. It worked. It's magic. Look at us go.
Calculator gives you negatives to the problem. All you have to do after you get the problem. Algebra radical.
Sir.
I don't know. All right, what's the square root of 49?
7.
All right, so then it's 7 root what?
5.
Take a point if you said 5.
I read it was 7. I put 49.
Now, why is it 7 and not 49?
Because
Because you have to take the square root. All right, are we ready for number 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easy. I should start paying attention.
You should. I'm telling you. I'm so glad that it's February and it took you 6 months to figure that out, baby, but you have figured it out. All right, number 4 is the square root of 300. So, automatically, what is the biggest perfect square that goes into that? 100. 100 times what?
3.
What's the square root of 100? What goes on the outside?
No, now you're moving.
What goes inside the house? Look at us go. I'm going to take away points for y'all being silly creatures.
Being happy to get points.
That's not, you're not even focused
Wait,
on
is
what
this
I'm...
all going to be in this right here?
No, exponents in this.
I need to.
Well, it's there. It doesn't just go away. All right, number 5 is 360. All right, so let's look at the square root of
So
360.
this is the only thing I know how to do.
Let's look at the square root of 360. Looking at our list, what number can we think that goes into 360 automatically?
36.
36. All right, 36 times 10. What's the square root of 36? What happens to that 10? He stays in the house. Look at us go. Like a bunch of ninjas.
Hey, if you said 36, can I get a point?
No. If you spit that gum out, I may give you a point because it's whatever that is, throw it away because it's driving me insane. Take a point. Can you put hand sanitizer on your hands?
Yeah, so.
All right, it's eyeliner. Focus.
I don't know.
I understand, but you're focusing on the wrong part of the room.
You need to.
Yes, honey.
I did 6 times 6.
60 times 6. Neither of those are perfect squares.
I knew that.
That's why those don't work.
Oh, okay.
So always go for you don't have the third column, so always go for those numbers. Every time, okay?
So basically you divide by those numbers.
Yep, every time. Alright, 98. What is the biggest perfect square? And of course we're going to have to go smaller. So which of this, not you. Which of these do you think goes into it? 49. Alright, so 98 divided by 49 is 2. That works. Look at us go. Alright, what is the square root of 49? Take a point if you said 7. What happens to the 2?
Stays inside the.
Why does he stay inside the house? Because he's grounded. Why is he grounded?
Because nobody likes you.
Because it's just one. He's by himself. He's lonely.
Yeah, nobody likes it.
No, that's not true.
He got too many fights.
Stop. Bunch of weirdos. Yes. All right, number 7 is the square root of 162. I don't. Yes, 162. That's what number 7 says. All right, so let's look at our list.
Exactly, we've got 70 points.
Look at you go. I'm going to think that 100 is going to be too big, so I'm going to go to 81. Oh, and I got 2. Look at us go. 9 root 2. Take a point for your team.
One of these numbers will have to work, 9 root 2.
Yes, one of them will have to. And if you go through all the lists and it doesn't work, you just write the radical. Like if we found nothing that went into 162, no perfect square, we would say plus or minus 162, like that. But I won't give you one of those. Oh, my nose is itching like crazy. Number 8. Number 8, and then we're moving on to cubes. All right, so 4 times the square root of 192.
I just got this.
All right, so it's 64 times what?
3.
And what's the square root of 64? 8. Now, this 8 is going to go out here. What is the 8? What are the 8 and the 4 going to do?
Multiply.
They're going to multiply. Take a point. And that becomes 8 times 4 is 32, root 3. Because we picked 64, right? Okay? And the square root of 64 is 8. It comes to the outside, so it becomes 8 times 4, and you get 32.
Oh, that's only if it has the.
That's only if it's on the outside. Yes.
Wait, what?
Once you take the square root of it, you take the square root of 64, and we got 8. You multiply 8 times 4, and you get 32. Yes, Jeremiah. Yes, you'll be able to use this on the test. Yeah, you'll be. That's why we made the note card, guys.
For real? Well, we need to write the cube on it.
Yes, that's what we're about to do.
I don't have a lot of room for it.
That's what we're. Just pump your brakes. All right, make room. Okay, so now the next one are cubed roots. Now, when you have a square root, you're looking for 2 of the same number. When you have a cubed root, you're looking for 3 of the same number. Take a point. So we're going to write our perfect cubes. Now, my perfect cubes are the third column. Only write to 10. Use a third color to write your cubes. Or if you need to write them on the back, write them on the back.
Okay.
216. What is that? 216?
343.
I really need black.
512.
Oh my gosh.
Do you need me to tell you the next one?
729.
729 and then 1,000.
I haven't been able to get black. Like, glitch for sure.
Yeah. I understand that. Are we ready? I'm so excited for perfect cubes.
We're ready.
Almost.
Is this my favorite?
Yeah, you just use the perfect cubes instead of the squares. So you're still doing the same process. You're just using that third row. Are we ready? Potatoes.
Oh snap, we got like 1 minute left.
We have 4, assuming it reads on time. Alright, so what you're going to do for number 11 is we're going to look at our third column. Now, it's the cubed root of 16. So what do you think is the biggest number from our third row that goes into 16? 8. So, it would be 8 times what?
2.
2. Now, we need to take the cubed root this time, not the square root. So what's the cubed root of 8?
4.
It's 2. You go back to the counting number, and it becomes, I'm going to write it down here, 2 cubed root 2, like that.
About 9.
Wait, there's 3 outside that. 16.
We did those this morning.
There's 3 outside that. 16.
Yeah, but
No, it's a cubed root. It's the index.
Alright, I'm gonna just check.
Now, guys, this index right here, it stays inside the mullet. You don't multiply it by that 2. That's different than this 4. This is the coefficient. That's the index. You see how this one is baby and that one's bigger? You don't multiply them. All right, before we go, look at number 12. Look at our third column. What do you think the biggest one is that goes into 40? We're at our third column. Third column, guys.
36. Oh, 2.
Third column. 8, okay?
5 times.
So that would be 8 and 5. What's the cubed root of 8?
4.
Go all the way back to the counting. So it's 2 cubed root 5. Now this weekend, I want you to do through number 20. And you need to finish this worksheet. And if you want more practice, there's another worksheet up there for bonus. I don't live here. Have a great weekend. Make good choices. Be good people. Stay out of trouble out there.